Morning everyone, it is 4:27. I've been awake for 2 hours because I woke up when my husband went to work and I didn't get back to sleep. So I thought I would just take you on a little bit of a journey today as to what I'm up to. I've got some ideas to play around with today, so I thought I would check with you. But first of all, we need to feed the squirrels. Excuse me. Would you like your breakfast? I thought so. So these two have finished their breakfast and they are staring at me because they both want to brush their teeth with their little fish cubes. Which is the done thing every day, apparently. Are you going to calm down now? Seems though you keep playing and biting. Naughty, naughty, naughty. What's the Lulu? What's these your little feet? Come here. Settle down. Are you going to settle down? Or are you going to stand there? Oh, she wants her tummy tickled. Can I help you? Can I help you? Mr. Blobby. Sit down. So I thought today that I would just sew some scraps together on some tape, basically. So I have been on the dreaded Amazon and I have bought myself a pack of these little till rolls, which are non-thermal because they have to be non-thermal because you're going to iron them and the thermal ones release nasties, basically. So these are non-thermal, just basically just tear them up. They're really easy to tear. They're just receipt rolls, basically, that you would get your receipt from if you was going to a little small shop or something. So all I have done is torn myself off some lengths and I am sewing my strips onto them. I've done 3 already and I'm just basically sewing my scraps onto the paper, and then I am going to cut them down probably to about 3 inches once I've pressed them all. But instead of doing them on a complete till roll to make in effect like a scrap jelly roll, I'm just doing them in pieces, and then I'm going to join them together and possibly make some blocks out of them sewn together in some sort of weird way, maybe. So I thought I would just show you how I do it, basically. So I found the easiest way to do it is sew on the inside of the till roll, because then you can roll up the other end and just have it on the inside of your machine, because you need to work from this end towards the long end. So I have got my scraps. I've got a whole pile of them. Most of them are pink, black, green and grey. Those are the colours that I chose. So I've got some solids in here. They are all Sugar Pink. I've got some bits of Nightshade Deja Vu, some of the new Space Sprinkles, some of Mineral, and I'm going to lower you down just so you can see, wrong way. And we'll go through how I put the scraps together. So basically all I do is pop one of them sort of centralised onto my paper, grab a different colour, lay it down on top, and then basically just stitch around a 1/4 inch seam through the paper, cut my thread, and then just finger press the fabric back. And then I'm going to grab a different scrap. This one is the grey on grey owls, so I'm going to pop that down. Make sure that my piece underneath is smooth against the paper. And I'll press the foot and just stitch it down at 1/4 inch or thereabouts. And then I'm just going to finger press that one back, lay it out nice and smooth, grab another one, stitch it down. So I am going to busy myself with these. I'm going to keep doing this one until I get to the end. I will fast forward it a little bit here with a little bit of music over it so you don't have to listen to me witter on about life. And this one's a bit long, so I'm going to just trim that down just very roughly because it's all going to get trimmed up anyway. So yeah, I'm going to press this one back. And then I'm just going to get cracking until I go through till the end. So I will catch up with you in a moment. there we are at the end of this strip. So I've got all of my scraps sewn onto this strip. The paper is on the back. So I am going to finish up doing a few more of these strips, and then I'm going to take these over to my ironing board, give them a good press, and then what I'll do is from the reverse, I will turn them over and I will cut them down so that they are about 1/2 inch longer than the paper either side, nice and square. It will probably work out they're about 3 inches square, and then I can work out what I want to do with them afterwards. So I will catch up with you in a little while. So I have sewn up 6 rows of the scrappy paper rows of my scraps, and I'm now going to take them all down to my cutting table over there, and I'm going to trim them all down. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get 3-inch strips out of them, but I'm not too sure because there are a few bits that are a little bit shy of that, I think, but we shall see. I really love the layout of them though on here, and I'm thinking, do you know what I think I might do? I might just carry on making strips and then sew them together as long as possible, and then just make a quilt of them all, like a jelly roll race, but with all of these. And I think it'd be really nice because it's just going to be like a really ultra scrappy quilt, but there's still some sort of theme to it because I've got all of the greens, the teals, the purples, the pinks, the black, the grey and the white to sort of break it up a little bit. So yeah, I'm having quite a lot of fun with this, more fun than I thought I would have. And it's just a bit of a mindless sewing task, but it's quite effective. So yeah, I'm going to crack on. I'm going to cut all of these down. I'm hoping to keep as many kitty faces as possible, but some of them are going to lose their heads, some of them might lose their feet, some of them might lose their minds, who knows. So yeah, I will catch up with you in a bit. So I have basically trimmed down all of those blocks that I was working on yesterday, the day before, or whenever it was that I filmed that footage earlier in the week, and I will insert a picture of them here trimmed down. So I managed to trim them down to 3 inches long, which means that I can carry on making strips out of the rest of the scraps that I've cut up, and then once I've got as many strips as possible, I can just gradually sew them all together and see what it creates. I think I'm going to do like a jelly roll race with the scraps because they're kind of 3-inch strips, are just a bit bigger than a jelly roll, and I think it would look quite good. They also look really cool when they're all sort of like stacked on top of each other because they kind of get this like mishmash scrap kind of checkerboard effect, which is quite cool. Apologies, Amazon was just delivering a light box that I needed for tracing off some artwork that I'm working on at the moment. But yes, so I finished up my scrap blocks for as many as I've got time for this week. I am working on some mini cases which are pre-order projects. So I've got 3 of those on the go, which I am partway through, which I'm going to hopefully finish this weekend. Tomorrow is the Idiot Quilter autumn retreat, which I am a guest speaker on. So I am going to be doing a presentation tomorrow about myself, basically, where I came from, how I got to where I am today, how I started my business, and so on and so forth. So I'm quite looking forward to that. I think it'll be a great fun to sort of share that with the retreaters that are going. And the one thing that I wanted to come and speak to you about today, which you may guess, I am wearing my absolutely lovely new Art East quilt in cut so hoodie that the lovely John and Matt got shipped over to me earlier on today. They also sent me one of their awesome crew neck sweatshirts as well, which is in this really lovely cornflower powder blue. So I'm super excited to have those, especially at this time of year when it's getting a little bit nippy, and mint is my neutral, so it had to be a mint one for me. So if you want one of the hoodies or the sweatshirts or any other merch, head over to arteastquiltingco.com. I will link it down below, but I wanted to come and basically talk to you today about a very exciting announcement, and I am very lucky to now stock the full range of Art East quilting patterns. I have got all of the pattern booklets for all the sew-alongs, minus the ones that are coming up in the next year. So the ones that are obviously aren't released yet I don't have, but I have got Mad Quilt Party, So Place Like Home. So I have the Mad Quilt Party proper booklets. I have got the Sew Place Like Home booklets as well. So anyone that is joining the Sew Along in January that just wants to sew along with their own stash and just wants the booklet, you can get it from me, or you can order it from Artist Direct, and it will come in the shipment in January with the kits if you've ordered a kit. If you want the folk sampler, I have that also, which is a really great scrap busting booklet. There's also the mini quilt block sampler, which I've been working on behind the scenes in some live pop-ups. I haven't had time to do another live pop-up, but hopefully will next week, where I'm going to sew up another 3 blocks from that series. I have got the raw edge puffin applique kits, which come with all of the paper and everything that you need in here for your placement guide, and a full 100% scale pattern for all of the pieces. And I'm also very grateful that I have got the very last few of the Flying Tigers pattern in paper format. This is a discontinued pattern which will be retiring soon, so there is probably very little chance that I'm going to have any more of these. So I'm super excited to have a few of these in stock. But as I say, I've got the full range of patterns, so if you are after any of the printed booklets, I can now ship them to you directly in the UK. So yeah, massive exciting thing that happened this week with getting those patterns in, and I am looking forward to getting them in the hands of everyone that wants one in the UK. So yeah, if you are after any of the Artist Quilting patterns and you want proper pattern booklets instead of having the PDF download that you have to print yourself, you can go to my shop and grab whichever ones you want. So I will talk to you all really soon. I hope you've had a great week. I will catch up with you at some point over the weekend or the beginning of next week. If you didn't see my video earlier in the week about the men's battle of the men's shirts, it should link itself automatically at the end of this vlog, and I will see you all really soon. Have a good weekend, take care, and ciao for now.